Hello, vinyl community. Chris Prophy, musically obsessed. I thought what I would do today is walk you through some of the 45s and 10-inch records that I have. I don't have a lot, but I figured I'd show you what I have, and I'd be interested to hear, your thoughts. What are some of your favorite 45s? Maybe you even have some of them that I have. So the first one is by one of my favorite bands. This is on the Colgems label. This is the Monkees single for Valerie, backed with Tapioca Tundra. And I remember my dad had this on 45, so I definitely had to get myself a copy. And I love the song Valerie, but I'm going to tell you, I would be flipping it over to Tapioca Tundra all the time. That song by Michael Nesmith is just great. A band that you might never have heard of before. They're on the SST Punk label, the same label that had Black Flag and the Descendents and the Minutemen and Husker Du and Sonic Youth. This band kind of went unnoticed, but I have started to listen to them in the last year, and I fell in love with them. They are called Slovenly. And these two 45s are not released on SST. This one, Drive It Home Abernathy, is released on Ajax Records. And this happens to be number 846 out of 1,000. You know what? I cannot even go on to describe what Slovenly sounds like, but they sound nothing like the other SST bands. They definitely have their own sound. The lead singer, Steve Anderson, has sort of a deadpan sort of voice, but it's just perfect for the background music for Slovenly. So if you've never heard them, you got to definitely check them out. This is the other 45 I have by Slovenly. And the songs on here are, side 1 is Plug, and side 2 has 2 songs, Now and TFIF. And then on the other side, you've got that cool drawing. So yeah, definitely check out the band Slovenly. It's really, like I said, hard to describe their music, but if you sort of have an open mind and you're into that sort of punk music that sort of pushes the boundaries and the genre of punk, you'd definitely be into them. Another band that kind of falls into that category is the band Swa. And I have talked about Swa in another video on my channel. They are another SST band led by the bass playing of Chuck Tukowski and vocals by Merrill Ward. And the 245s I have by them, this is the song Sea and Sky, which is one of my favorite songs by them, backed with Sex Doctor. And this 45 happened to have some promotional material too, telling you a little bit about the band, and then a promotional photo on the back. Swa is definitely heavier than Slovenly, and there's definitely more of a Black Flag vibe. And there would be because, Chuck Tukowski, of course, was the bass player for Black Flag. The other 45 I have by them is Arroyo, and this is one of their hits. They made a video for it. If you've never heard the song Arroyo, you can definitely find the video on YouTube, and it's backed with Optimist. So that's Swa. Definitely check out Swa if you are into punk music, anything on the SST label. Like I said, Chuck Tukowski on bass. You cannot go wrong. Another SST band, the Descendents. This is a 45 called Who We Are. This was a Record Store Day exclusive. This has on side A, Who We Are, and side B has Pavlov's Cat and Opt In. Love the Descendents. You can't go wrong. Carl Alvarez on bass, Steve Egerton on guitar, Bill Stevenson on drums. Such a master of drums. And Milo Ackerman on vocals. So definitely a cool 45 by them. I'm definitely into country music as well. I go for more of the traditional country music, the Johnny Cashes, the Buck Owens, the Merle Haggards, the George Jones, Conway Twitties. But I also listen to a lot of the 90s country. I kind of lost interest after that. But one artist that I kind of really dig is Eric Church. And this is his 45 for Heart Like a Wheel. And it's backed with Monsters. And what can I say about Eric Church? Well, he's definitely not a traditional country artist. He doesn't sound like traditional country music, but he definitely has a twang to his voice. I feel like he's sort of got, he brings in those traditional elements, and he's sort of got an outlaw image to him. So, I get, Willie Nelson vibes. I get Waylon Jennings vibes from him. So definitely, if you like checking out new country, but you're kind of bothered because it doesn't sound like country, definitely check out Eric Church. Again, do all of his songs sound like traditional country? No, but he definitely brings in some traditional elements. So very cool artist. What else do I have here? I also have the 45 by Wray for Rumble on the Purple Cadence label. And that's backed with the swag. Very cool song. That song, the Rumble, just influenced so many rock and roll bands and so many artists and so many guitar players. Just a very cool 45 to have. This is a cool one too. This was my first record as a kid, and it got all scratched up. And in the last year, I bought myself another copy called Train Ballads, and it has 5 songs on it. John Henry, Wabash Cannonball, Drill Ye Terriers, Casey Jones, and I've Been Working on the Railroad. And like I said, this was the first record that I was spinning as a kid. I remember just loving it. That's probably why I love Johnny Cash and why I love train songs, because this was some of the first music I was listening to. But something I noticed when I rebought this, down here, it says, the words to some of these songs appear in the book All Aboard, The Trains That Built America. And I was like, I didn't even realize that there was a book that went along with this 45. So I looked on eBay and I found it. So this is the book, All Aboard, that goes with the 45 Train Ballads. So very cool. This book came out in 1951. It's got, definitely a lot of cool pictures of trains, explaining the whistle signals of trains. I have not read it yet, but it's just kind of a cool piece of memorabilia to have to go along with the 45 of that. And the 45 looks like this on Scholastic Records. And then lastly, the 2 10-inch records I have. This is a band called Off, and this was their live from the BBC. Now, if you've never heard of Off, Keith Morris sings for Off. He was the lead singer for Black Flag, and he also was the lead singer for the Circle Jerks. And this was his band that he formed called Off, and they definitely do a more traditional sounding punk, like early Black Flag. The songs are very short, and they're just in your face, just fast punk songs. So if you like Circle Jerks, if you like Black Flag, if you like early punk music, you definitely would dig Off. And that's those are the songs that are on this 10-inch record. And does it come with any goodies? Oh yeah, comes with a photo of the band, which is pretty cool. And the last 10-inch record that I have is a metal band that you might have heard of called Sodom. And this is their Partisan 10-inch record. And I just want to show you this. Oh, yeah. So you've got the lyrics on the inside. And I wanted to see, I don't think that this is, oh, yeah, it is colored. I haven't pulled this out in a while. This is a clear 10-inch record, which is pretty cool. So that's what I have. I mean, like I said, I don't have a lot of 45s and 10-inch records, but when I come across them and I find something that looks interesting, I'll definitely pick it up. Like I said, I've searched out a few, like that Train Ballads 45 and, the SWA stuff. So, yeah, I'd be interested to know what you think. If you have any of these 45s, or maybe what some of your favorites are, or if you even collect 45s still. So, thank you, and I will talk to you soon.